You just turned on. You just turned on. Naturally on a wave. Naturally on a wave. Better known as. Now. This is where independence is celebrated. So if you're ready to catch these waves, then let's go. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Grown Up Podcast, where you already know what we do. We talk about that grown up shit and we celebrate independence. But today, I got that Now Spotlight Artist interview for you, and I'm so happy that she's joining me. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to let her grace the stage here. And welcome, Poet 22. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm well. I'm beautiful, as I said when we first got here on the call. You know what I mean? So I'm very excited and happy that you're joining me. So first and foremost, I'm going to have you say where you're from and what genre of music you do.
Well, I am from, Appleton, Wisconsin. My family is from the South Side of Chicago, though, so I be repping both.
Okay.
And I do, because when I go back home, everybody know me on the block, so I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. But the type of music I would say that I make is R&B, soul, I guess indie when I want to get in that vibe. But yeah.
You mix it up a bit and kind of trying to find your sound. I feel that.
Yeah, we dabble in hip hop.
I did. Okay, yeah. See, you got to mix it up. You got to see what feels good in that moment. I feel that. So as a creative, so I did do my research on you. You know, I seen your past speaking interviews. So I won't get to like that. But I'm gonna base my questions based off of my research. So let's get started. So originally you are a poet, and essentially I would say that is your first love. So can you tell us the moment it felt like you could do more / reach a bigger audience with your poetry by turning it into music?
I would say when I started buying notebooks on purpose, like when I cause I have an entire collection of notebooks. It's really bad, honestly, low key hoarding.
Okay.
But when I started realizing the things that I was writing down, I did like spoken word poetry in high school. And I would do it like at these events and stuff like that. And I did choir in like middle school, but I stopped it. I think I didn't like my choir teacher, and I was like, I'm going to hate choir now for the rest of my life. But I kept singing.
I felt that.
I kept singing. And then ended up doing something. I was involved with one of the programs through my high school. And they needed somebody to sing for something, and they were looking for kids. And I was like, I mean, I guess I can do a little ditty. Like I can,
I can do a little 1-2.
Exactly. And they basically made me audition, which is fair because you don't want to throw no kid up there in front of other, because kids
Right.
are mean. Kids are mean.
Oh yeah.
And I did that. They were like, okay, cool. Like, that's great. Also, why have you never told us that you could sing before? And I was like, I don't know. It never came up in conversation. Y'all didn't ask.
Right.
And I ended up doing that event. And when I got down off of the stage, like after that, I just remember being like, I want to sing. I was like, I want to keep singing.
Right.
So I would say from that moment forward is like when I genuinely started like actively pursuing a career as an independent artist, whatever that looked like as a high schooler. Singing in coffee shops.
Hey, if that's what it takes to get it started, that's what it takes to get it started, Exactly. But I definitely can relate to trying to figure out where your creative space is at. I originally thought I was going to get into television and be like a film producer and all that. And then I took an audio class, and boom, here I am. So I can completely relate. And, we just all trying to figure out where we're supposed to be and the steps we're trying to take in life. So glad that you were able to step into the music though, because the music that you're making, we're gonna get into it. All right. Absolutely. So before we get into more music questions, do you have a favorite poet?
A favorite poet? Okay. I wouldn't say that I necessarily
have to ask.
I know. And honestly, I'm surprised no one has asked me sooner. Like, you're the first person to ask me that. So I recently turned 22. Which is it's my lucky number. I feel very like drawn into that number. I mean, also like my 22nd birthday, my golden birthday was just like a really special year for me. Just because like I specifically having this memory of me being in elementary school and everybody was like, when's your golden birthday? When's your golden birthday? And I was like, well, mine gonna be when I'm 22. So I'm gonna be grown and I can do whatever I want and did it. And that's exactly what I did. So we had a ball for my 22nd. It was a lot. But I say all that to say there's this poem by Lucille Clifton called "Won't You Celebrate With Me," that I read it once and it's just like really stuck with me. And it's just about like every year / like every day waking up and knowing that all these things are out here trying to knock you down, but still actively choosing to like get up and celebrate yourself. And also knowing that like there's specifically this line in the poem that talks about like not having a role model, and like you basically had to be your own role model. And I really resonate with that. Especially if I don't know about y'all, you know what I mean? But I had a lot of examples of what I shouldn't be versus what I should be growing up. So I think I really resonated with that poem. So I would say Lucille Clifton, but also Maya Angelou, because she just got that voice. Like something about that, like that's a bone chilling, like, oh yeah. I'm a poet myself. I fell in love with poetry around like 5th or 6th grade, maybe even 4th grade, earlier than that. And Maya Angelou was the poet that got me into actually writing and, really studying poetry and things like that. And I completely feel you. And I love that you've been able to connect to poetry in that way. And I think everyone should be able to connect to poetry in that way. So thank you for shining the light on poetry as well as, your music. So my next question I have for you is, what kinds of struggles did you have to overcome after deciding you were going to pursue music? Ooh, Chile.
Lay it out for us.
Okay. So I graduated out of high school 2020. Like,
wow. So, okay.
Yeah. And I was my mama's first baby to like walk across the stage. So I never got to do that.
Oh,
she
wow.
didn't see none of her babies. Yeah.
Congratulations.
It's real tragic, but also like, ooh, we did it. Especially in the midst of quite it was a lot going on, and it's a lot still going on.
Yeah.
But I would say from that moment forward, because kind of going with what you were saying before, not knowing what path you were going to take, I thought I was going to be a journalist, actually. Isn't this funny?
Okay.
I thought that I was going to go to school for communications. I was going to get a communications degree. And then I started thinking, I was like, is that really what I want to do? Because like I realized the whole point of me going out to the city I was trying to go out to, I was trying to make moves around music in that scene. So I was like, it's giving, this is all a facade. So let's just do what we really want to do. And I had a discussion with my mom. I was like, Mom, I'm not going to college no more. And she was like, baby, just do whatever you got to do. Just make sure you keep a job. Whatever you got to do. And as a graduation gift, she actually funded my trip to Baltimore to connect with Tamira Slade.
Wow.
And yeah, I know, Mom of the Year. Like, wow, she really that nigga.
Yes.
But when I was out there, I was like, I just realized that like it wasn't a lack of creativity that Tamira and I had, because Tamira is the executive producer of Chrysalis. If I don't think I said that elaborated, but
that's okay. We're gonna get into it later. I got a question for you on that.
But it wasn't a lack of creativity. It was more so a lack of resources. Especially me being in Cowtown ass Wisconsin. I love it here. I do in some occasions, but I'm gonna just be honest. A lot of my shows, I do not do a lot of shows out here. It's people calling me in New York. It's people calling me in Baltimore. It's people calling me, you know,
that just means global. That just means you global, baby.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
I'll take it.
Yeah.
But also, I'm just like, damn, I can't even get it popping in my hometown. What's wrong? What's going on?
Okay,
y'all don't want to put me for real.
I
but
feel
then
that.
I ended up doing Juneteenth out here, and I was like, okay, it was just all in my head. But I'm a little melodramatic. I'm a Gemini rising. It comes with the program.
Yeah, got you.
But yeah, I would say just a lack of resources, a lack of dedicated individuals who are trying to pull the next generation of creatives up. And also just a lack of support as an independent artist from people who genuinely want to see you shine and don't want to just, I guess, it's easy to take advantage of independent artists because we're learning things by ourselves if you do not have a mentor.
Yeah.
So a lot of this shit is just trial and error. You know what I mean? And people know that.
Yep.
People can smell that on you. So you have to be very protected. You have to be protective of yourself and your crafts, especially in your creations. So
absolutely. Yeah. Ever since I've been doing this segment, I've asked that question about what does, support look like in your city, your hometown, or, wherever you're staying at and pursuing music independently. And a lot of the response I get is that I don't get a lot of love where I'm at. I actually get more love going out. And I think it's important for me to continue the segment and continue to highlight that point, because if we're not celebrating each other when we're in the same space, like, don't try and celebrate me when I'm already up and stuff. And that's strange behavior. It's like, if you gonna love hard, and love openly, you know what I mean? So I want to definitely highlight that point and let people know, like, if there's someone, a creative in your city, they asking for some help, support, resources, help them out. You know what I mean? I try the best I can here at Grown Up Podcast, but I'm one person, and we all got to figure out a way to help each other. So definitely put that point out there. So my next question that I have for you is, as I said, I did my research, and now, as you mentioned earlier, Tamira Slade, you managed to catch the eye of award-winning producer and songwriter Tamira Slade. So what has your experience been like working together, and how much of your connection has contributed to your growth as an artist?
First of all, I love Tamira down. She she is the most politely aggressive person in the studio that you will ever meet.
I love that.
Especially when it comes to like layering vocals and like even just technical terms, because I'm just a girl. So
just trying to make it.
Literally. But Tamira like breaks things down in a way, like when it comes to producing as well. Like when you're a creative and you enter a studio with Tamira, you leave with more knowledge, more skill set, and just more love than you came with. And I think that is something that is very rare. And that's something that I value deeply when I work with her, no matter what it is, even if the shit never come out, and she's going to bully me about that. Even if it never comes out, I know that we were able to like get in there, create something, and like just have a moment, like in my head, I go to studios to have a moment and then translate that over the audio. But it gets hard, especially because me and her have a personal relationship. Sometimes when I go into other studio settings, I be thinking it's gonna be like that, and it don't be like that. And it's like, maybe I shouldn't crack a joke with this nigga. I don't think he we're on the same level right now, and that's okay.
Right.
But I know and acknowledge the relationship that I have with her, in the way that we like. I don't even have to say. Sometimes, like, she was like, "You like this beat?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, okay." And what about it? Right. So being able to like kind of have that and go back and forth off each other makes the creative process so much easier. And much more fun.
Definitely. I think artist producer vibe connection is so important. My brother, he's also an artist, and he connected with someone who is an artist, but also a producer. And so he produces the music. She's the artist. She does the lyrics. And together, they create magic. And I think producer artists, you create magic, and that connection that y'all have and the moments that you share is special, and it does translate into your music, and the music that you're putting out now obviously speaks for itself. So yeah, I'm very happy to have you on today. So my next question I have for you is, what artists do you take inspiration from now as you're seeing your sound develop?
Oh my God. Okay. Why would you put me on a spot like this? So,
this is honestly, the spotlight segment.
Literally. I would say I am learning to just appreciate different things from different genres. So one morning I might feel like Amy Winehouse, which is gonna be.
I love me some good with Amy Winehouse.
But that's a rough morning. You starting your morning with Amy Winehouse. Did you even try? And then there are also mornings when I feel like, an Ari Lennox. So it really depends on the vibe. But I will say consistently over time, my home, whenever I'm like, I need to get my head right. You know what I mean? Yeah. I will always go back to listening to Lexi Alege, one of the first mixtapes that Kehlani released. It's after Cloud 19. I can't think of it right now. I'm such a fake fan. But those two, I think really aided in my creative development young, just because of the wordplay. Also, Kehlani's vocal choice. And then also just having the roots of, growing up listening to gospel music around the house because we cleaning up. Anita Baker, I might feel like listening to some Anita Baker. And it's just picking especially now I'm going back because there are a lot of songs that I heard as a child where I was like, this kind of hit. Then now as an adult, I really appreciate it. I'm like, whoa, and I'm really trying to get into Stevie Wonder's discography, Patrice Rushen's discography. A lot of the greats, just a lot of the greats.
Okay. Yeah. You gotta keep it eclectic. You gotta keep a variety of music going on, and definitely, of course, it couples with what you grew up listening to and what you're into now in the space in your life. And so I know I'm in a different space in my life, and it's definitely changed many times. And so I feel you. Sometimes I wake up punk rock, and sometimes I wake up gospel. I don't know. It just depends. It's all right. We figuring it out. So, right. So my next question I have for you is, let's talk about your latest singles, FBG Money, which is Fuck Bitches Get Money for y'all who don't know, and Time Zones. So Fuck Bitches Get Money was released August of last year, and Time Zones was released just a few days ago, actually. So both singles are given Poet 22 as grown, you know what I mean? That's the vibe. So how do you feel about the direction that your music is heading based on the response that you've gotten from these singles?
First of all, Fuck Bitches Get Money started as a joke in the studio.
Really?
It did.
What?
In the sense of Tamir, we love hip hop. I love she loves to joke about my because if you go back and listen to Chris Liz, it's a whole bunch of boom bap beats. So Tamir likes to joke around with that. And that came on, and she was making that beat, and I was like, fuck bitches, get money. And then she was like, wait. And I'm like, you're right, we might have to do something with that. We might have to. And because that was just a demo. Literally, that was just a demo. And then Tamir was like, wow, you need to release that. That's hard. I was like, okay. I'll pull the pride flag out for the girls. And that's what I did. And the girls were very cute.
Okay. I would have never known. I would have thought you went through something, or you was just like, I'm in my zone.
Literally. No, that's see, and that's I also have an alter ego, according to Tamira.
Okay.
That we love
Might be getting
tap
introduced to the alter ego soon.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, that bitches get money. That look like alter ego. That look like Poet 22 alter ego right there.
She goes outside, she
Okay.
sits drink.
Yeah. Sure.
But yeah, so we made that. And time zones I had the pleasure of creating in LA during my trip to LA with
Nice.
another female producer. Her name is Sarah Kawai.
Nice.
And it's really funny. Those two songs are interlocked because in that session, I finished mixing Fuck Bitches Get Money, and then I went straight to Time Zones, which is so funny to me because I'm like, that's such an energy shift. Like, whoa.
It is.
You're like, Fuck Bitches Get Money, but also, I love this one. So,
yeah.
So that was really funny. I don't know. I think going forward, a lot of my music is just going to be a lot more authentic. And not saying that I wasn't authentic before, but just like authentic in a way that I feel is fully truthful. Because like a lot of the stuff I would like, I'm going through something, but they're like, girl, what are you going through? Like, tell us more.
Right.
So just being able to like fully be vulnerable with myself in order to be vulnerable with the audience, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yes, that totally makes sense. That's crazy because the episode that I just released for this month is called, the first title of it is Authenticity. And that is where I feel like I have not been giving my true self to the podcast as well. And I'm in this space of like, okay, going 4 years in it, like all the doors only open if you're being true to yourself and you're being authentic in what you're doing and what you're creating. And so that episode was really me pouring out and being true and hopefully using that as a stepping stone, to continue that pace. And so I completely understand what you're saying, and you'll find yourself, you'll find your authenticity in your creativeness, and don't worry about it. We enjoying the music that you're putting out right now. Okay.
Thank you.
So I do this when I'm old school, the millennial thing, it's the generational thing change, you know what I mean? So as of right now, is collaborating with artists, whether mainstream or independent, something that's a main focus for you? Or is it more of the lines of if it happens to be, the opportunity presents itself, then you'll take it?
I mean, I'm always going to have dream collabs. I think I'll always have dream collabs. Like me, Kaylani. But
we can tag her on this.
That's what I'm saying. She's so sick of me though. I be tagging her on everything. But I would say definitely, obviously I'm always gonna have that Kaylani. And I think I've said this one before too, Smino, which I also had the chance of meeting while I was in LA, and that was interesting. Nice. I was like, I'm such an unserious person. It's really bad.
I can feel that energy.
You know what I mean? Because I'm walking.
I can feel it.
Literally. And then I looked over and I was like to myself, I said, nigga, is that Smino? And then I walk over to him and I'm like, Smino. And I'm like, why am I whispering to Smino right now? This is insane. But he was like, yeah, what's up?
Because he's just like, a human like all of us.
That's what I'm saying. But I didn't want to make the block hot. You know what I mean? I didn't want to.
Right. You was trying to come in smooth.
Exactly.
Felt that.
And then we had a nice little conversation. I told him what 22 meant. A while ago, the only time I actually seen him on tour was when he was on tour with Earth Gang. And I got a meet and greet pass for myself because it was like a birthday gift to myself. And he asked me to hold his drink and I spilled it. And again, like I said, I'm such an unserious person. So of course, I literally, I'm talking to him like, hey, you remember you were on tour 5 years ago and you did meet and greet in Chicago and I spilled your drink. He was like, yeah. I was like, damn, I was hoping you would have forgotten. Shit. All right, let's roll with it.
Nope.
All right. Literally, I'm like, I make music now. It's not funny. I come like that. Yeah. So definitely Kaylani, Smino, and who else? Just I feel like a silly one would be Flo Milli. Just throwing that out there, just because she is who she
Okay.
is, and I like the way that she's animated in her rap verses. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. I feel that. I feel that. So my next question I have, how has the process been for you as an independent artist, figuring out the business side of the music industry?
Again, Samira really is one of the most, like she will put the bad boy smack down on you. But I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I needed that. Because I be on
Yeah.
my artists like la di da di da, flowers and daisies
Hmm.
and music notes. And that's not lucrative. So
Right. Right.
yeah, I would say figuring out the business side depends on who you have on your side personally.
Hmm.
Because niggas gonna tell you a whole different. Well, I don't know, am I supposed to be cousin? But people
Yes.
will
Yeah. You
tell you.
can. Be you.
Okay,
Be
like
you.
I really feel like niggas will tell you different things depending on what they
Oh
see
yeah.
for you. You know what I mean? If someone,
Yes.
you
Yes.
have to be clear on what you see for you, and that is something
Hmm.
that I've continuously run into. Make sure your
Yeah.
vision aligns first and foremost
Yes.
before you go into business with anybody.
Yeah.
And get it down in writing. I know we like to shake
Hmm.
hands, Instagram DM, but get that shit down in
Yeah.
writing. Signature, timestamp. Because people like to
Yes,
play
ma'am.
with your money and your time, and we do not have
Mm-hmm.
none of that to waste, especially as independent artists.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's right.
yeah. And then also, I just think that it's nice to respect everybody involved in the creation of a project, and you can't do that if you worked all this time and now it's not going to come out because you didn't handle the business side of things. So that's
Right.
just how I
Right.
see it. Long
All
story
right.
short,
So
I
it's fair
failed
to
a
say.
lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So it's fair to say you're still growing and, understanding all the ins and outs of how to represent yourself, and as an independent artist, without a record label or something like that, just watching over you. So, okay, that makes sense. I too am independent and only watching myself. So I get it. We just trying to figure it out. So a couple more questions here, and then I have a surprise for you at the end. So don't be afraid. Oh, yeah. Okay. You like surprises. All right. I like that. All right. So final two questions here for you. What advice do you have for people wanting to do independent music based on your experience from your independent music journey?
Okay. I'm gonna say I'm a very small fish in a very big pond. But I would say,
Aren't we all?
literally, focusing on your craft is important for sure. So vocalists, if you find yourself going flat, get a vocal trainer, get you a vocal coach.
Yeah.
If you feel like you struggle in the studio, get you somebody who's start doing the little songwriting, exercises. Just make sure that you put yourself in a position to win wherever you're at. And on top of that, make sure that when you are in these rooms, literally, go in there, authentically be yourself. Because like you said, if you're not being yourself in these rooms, then people are going to get a false perception of who you are. And then also these connections that you're making are going to be made off of false pretenses and might lead you down the wrong path. And last, I would say have fun. And when you fuck up or someone else fucks up, it makes you fuck up because they're fuck up. Don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. Literally, keep it pushing. Charge that shit to the game, and that's what it is. Yeah.
I love that. That's great. Beautiful words spoken. Beautiful advice. My last question for you before I surprise you out your seat. What are some goals you have on your list this year with your music?
So, I'm planning to release something, not quite an album, not quite a single, somewhere in between.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
it's in the works, it's in the works. Very excited for the general public to hear that one. It's very, I will say it's something, it's something for the girls. Something for the girls.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. You didn't give us a lot, but you gave us enough to just, you gave us the Where's Waldo puzzle right now, because that was cold. It's not an album. It's not a single. It's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
And I feel like I know a lot, but I have no idea where that is.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna just meet you there when it drops, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm following you. I'm connected, so I'll know when I know. I guess so, right? You telling us we'll know when.
You'll know
Okay,
when you'll
all
know.
right.
Yep.
Got it. All right. Well, that's that, y'all. Make sure you tap in with her. No, I'm just kidding. We still got one more section. All right, I got to throw you in the hot seat. So that's what this is.
Okay.
Right? The ending of this
Brace
is a hot
myself.
seat. It's quick 4 questions. First answer that comes to your mind. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Favorite artist.
Beyonce.
Ooh, okay. Favorite song currently.
Me first, Carrie Foe.
Okay. Favorite food.
Oh, tacos.
You're speaking
Steak
to my
ones.
soul.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Okay. Last question. Favorite memory of your independent journey so far?
Performing at SOBs in New York City and inviting people up on stage and giving them shots for free. And then afterwards getting my bottle confiscated and told that we almost got a fine because we wasn't supposed to do that. And then also having another secret bottle in the back, so I wasn't even worried about them taking that bottle.
You was out here living. You done turned 22 and out here living.
Yeah.
You out here just thugging. You in the streets.
Reckless. I wouldn't do it
Okay.
again, but glad I did it once,
You got to try once. You got to experience just a little bit, not too much, that get you in trouble. Okay, all right. You have a time, all right? And if y'all want to have a time with Poet 22, tap in with her. As you can see, her IG is scrolling all over the screen. Her links will be in the description. And as we're closing this, Poet 22, if you have any final words you would like to say, any personal shout outs you would like to give, and of course for the audio people, let them know where they can follow you and check you out.
A shout out to my mama, because she made me a real nigga.
Yeah.
Tamara Slade is actually an angel on earth. Continue to follow her. She's working on some stuff as well. Very excited for her to release that. And stream time zones. If you are a long distance lover like me, if you be on that FaceTime crying and throwing up, that's for you. You can find me at Poet22 Music on my TikTok, my Instagram, and just about everywhere else on the internet. So, yeah.
Yes. Make sure y'all head to the description below. Check out her links so you can follow her, tap in with her music, and finally, you can head to grownuppodcast.info, where I have a Spotify playlist of all the Now artists that have been gracing this segment, and her music will be added. So you can go ahead and tap in to that playlist and go ahead and get your Natural on the Wave Spotlight artists tap in up and on there. Okay. All right. So thank you so much, Poet 22, once again for joining me here on the Grown Up Podcast and the Natural on the Wave segment. I appreciate it. And of course, if you want to come back, please. Are we going to lock this down now?
Between, the Not album and the Not single, we'll figure it
out. Y'all heard it here, folks. Between that, once I figure it out, we gonna figure it out. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Make sure y'all tap in. It's Grown Up Podcast. It's the Natural on the Wave segment. Stay safe and be kind out there. All right. We out of here. All right, family, and that's a wrap for this month's Now Spotlight Artist interview. Again, thank y'all so much for joining me. Make sure you head to the description below to check out Poet 22, follow her, and check out her music. Now, one thing I did mess up on, and I'm going to have to correct from here on out, is I have recently updated my website, and I now have two websites. So the Now Spotify artist playlist is actually on the new website, which is DerekHollandBusiness.com. So if you want to check out the music from the Now artists that have been featured on the segment, you can head to DerekHollandBusiness.com and check that out on the podcast tab. And of course, I will have that link in the description below for you to click that, check out the new website. And you can still head to grownuppodcast.info, all the links up there for you guys to click right away and make it easy for you to tap in with the Grown Up Podcast and share the Grown Up Podcast, okay? Whatever streaming link, podcast, streaming player that they play their podcast on, I promise you I have the link up there on grownuppodcast.info, okay? So I appreciate y'all again. Make sure y'all stay safe and be kind. I'll see y'all for next month's episode and a new Spotlight artist. All right, let's go.